All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the 21 Days of Healing, round two. Who can't use more healing, especially right now, right? Oh, I'm so excited because this time it's going to be infused with this beautiful Deeksha that I've been trained in giving. So every single day I've got a specific time. It's going to be 7 o'clock to 7:15, and I'll do a private messenger group like I did before. And only this time every day at 7 o'clock, I'll post in there that I'm doing this. I'm doing the Deeksha for you. And so at the end of this, we'll do the Deeksha so you can kind of have that experience of what that feels like. And there's a special recording. There's a mantra that is so beautiful, and I just found it on YouTube, and it brings me right back there. It's unbelievable. And so this energy, we can tune and tap into it through me. So I've been initiated as a Ekam Mitra, which it is all on the fly. I did not plan on doing that. Actually, when I had looked at it, I really had no interest. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. And when I got there, Bhagwan had different plans for me, and I'll tell you about that story in a second. But my biggest lesson was just to trust, because I'm one that likes to control everything. So it was tough to let go and trust, but so many blessings unfold when you do. And especially with what the country's going through right now, we really need to let go and trust. And my mentor, Carrie, forecasted all of this stuff a year ago. And when everybody kept asking when, he said 2020, and the span would be 5 years of challenging times. So with that, the 2020, it started not even a second into 2020, right? It was like the month before in China. But by the time it hit our continent, if you will, it was 2020. So the time frames I've been receiving for myself and other people I'm tuned in and connected to, everything is unfolding in divine and perfect order. And during my 10 days, between the Abundance Festival and the Ekam training, they talked every single day about the coronavirus. And they talked every single day about what we could begin to expect and why it was happening. So I'll share that as I move through my experience with everyone. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in here. I have a bit of a cold, and I know every time I cough, my family like totally has a meltdown. I'm like, no, I do not have the virus. I promise I don't. But I've got allergies because I had this before I left, and I was fine when I was gone for 2 weeks, and within a couple days of coming back, my nose started dripping again like a faucet. All right, so are you ready? Okay, here we go. I got a PowerPoint, of course. I'm like slides, they're called now. I'm a slide deck queen. So let me share my screen. Okay, here we go. And we're gonna share sound so you can hear me. Here we go. All right. All right, so we have our 21 Days of Healing, round two. I am so blessed to have each and every one of you. I think we've got about, here's my little card here. I like to keep track of everybody on a note card. You're going to love this number. Oh my gosh, we have 11 signed up. Yay! 11 is like the most powerful number ever, because it's all about make a wish. So whatever it is you desire, it's manifesting at warp speed for you right now. So that's totally perfect. Plus, we've got all of those angel sponsors who are with us, but probably didn't register. So that'll probably bump us up a little bit. I told Metatron I'd love 21 because I know he loves the repeating numbers. So I said, all right, let's do 21. 21 people for 21 days. But the big bonus is the daily Deeksha. Now, oneness, when Bhagwan created oneness, the oneness community, the oneness university, many were trained in Deeksha at that time. And I believe it was at the beginning of this year where Bhagwan said, no more hands-on Deeksha. That energy from that Deeksha was kind of done. They wanted people to stop. I mean, if you really wanted to continue doing it, they weren't going to come in and, have the Deeksha police arrest you or anything. And that's what I love about this mission, because they have guidelines, but nobody's making any demands. You really need to do what you feel guided to do. And so anyway, they've really discouraged the Deeksha, and they've really been focusing on the Great Compassionate Light. Well, Bhagwan actually announced at the when we had Darshan with him. I actually had Darshan twice. I got to see him up close and personal twice, 2 times. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing. And the second time I could almost touch him. I was so close. I'm still, every time I think about it, I like levitate. But anyway, he had shared with us right there, in front of 1,500 people with the first darshan. The second darshan was only 100, so it was really personal. But that first darshan, he just explained that he was retiring. It was official, that he was retiring, and it was Krishnaji's show. Krishnaji and Preetaji, the husband and wife, and Krishnaji's his son. So he was kind of passing off the torch. Krishnaji and Preetaji were going to be running everything, and that Bhagwan and Amma were going to be in the background, and that they would be flowing their energy through Preetaji and Krishnaji, and that the energy that was coming through to us now was actually, triple, because if you think about, they're sending their energy through Krishnaji and Preetaji, so it's amplified. There's 4 people who are concentrating energy versus just Bhagwan, or versus just Amma Bhagwan. And so he said the energy is actually amplified through this process. But because, Krishnaji has his own deal, and Krishnaji was actually the one at 11 years old that started with the Deeksha. He was given this sacred blessing to share with others. And he's the one that called it Deeksha at 11. Could you imagine this? But anyway, so the Deeksha that I've been initiated into is called, because apparently there's a lot of different forms of Deeksha, and the Deeksha I was initiated into, there's actually 2 different types I've been initiated to give, and one is called Sparsha Deeksha, and that's where you place your hands on the top of the person's head on the crown chakra. And then the second one is Samara Deeksha, which is long distance. So it's very similar to Reiki. I mean, that energy for me is very, very similar to Reiki. With Deeksha, with Reiki, I always think about, the Reiki masters, the energy coming from universal life force into the energy masters flowing into and through us. With Deeksha, it's really flowing straight from source. So it just, depends on how you envision things. And nobody's wrong, everybody's right. As Metatron, we've had this conversation many times, because different people have different ideas about things. And I did a whole channeling, I did a whole episode on this one time with Metatron, and Metatron just explained that, we all have different perceptions, and depending on where you're at, and I hope I'm not digressing too much, But anyway, got a lot to cover here in this hour. So let's jump in. Anyway, you're going to get Deeksha every single day for 21 days. It's going to be so powerful. And I've got a brand new mantra to share with you that you can listen to during that Deeksha time. And it's going to be super, super phenomenal. All right, here we go. So we're going to take a look at spiritual healing, the experience that we had. So my goal tonight is to share my experience of India. I know I posted every single day in our Facebook group. Not sure if you were able to follow or if it was kind of hit and miss, but I'm going to kind of just do a recap of my experience there, which was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it, it blew my mind. Like every day I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way it can top today. And then the next day it gets better and it gets better. And even on day 10, I literally felt like I had levitated off the floor. That my whole body had completely dissolved and I had become one with God. It was, oh, I could just cry because it was a near death experience. That is the closest thing I can explain it, is to having a near death experience every single day. Like not just once and you come back, but like 10 days in a row. Yeah, I'm still processing. I am still like in this beautiful cloud, as you can see. But yeah. And again, they said every single day, I mean, at least 3 times, like literally, I'm not lying, at least 3 times from 3 different people, even Bhagwan himself. I wrote it down. And they said that everything that you receive, the people that you're connected to, the people that you engage with and interact with are receiving everything that you do because of the idea that we're all one. So it really is a beautiful thing. It's not like I just went and I did this thing and came back and I'm just sharing it with you. Oh no. Oh no, you all went through this with me on some level, whether you felt it or you didn't feel it. It happened. It absolutely happened. But let me share my experience. And at the end, I'd love to hear about your experience. All right, so we're going to look at the 7-day Abundance Festival mainly. I'll touch lightly on the 3-day Ekam Mitra training I experienced. And then I'm going to explain about the Sparsha Deeksha. That's the one that I will be giving you tonight, as well as for the next 21 days. That's kind of the long distance Deeksha. So there's no difference in energy or connection or power or anything. As most of you who work with me know, I do a lot of stuff online. I do 95% of my stuff online, and there really is no difference, whether it's through, long distance or you're sitting here with my hands on your head. It's literally no difference. And then the Diksha really focuses on 4 areas. First of all, healing, physical healing, emotional healing, mental, spiritual healing. It also focuses on coincidences. And I love this about the Diksha is because you will begin to experience beautiful coincidences in your life. And if you're on this spiritual journey, well, you wouldn't be connected to me if you weren't. But those of us on a spiritual journey understand that coincidences aren't happenstance, that it's all divine, that your angels are always constantly working with you. So when I say you're going to experience more coincidences, that means that connection with your divine is going to open up and become stronger and more palpable. And my favorite one with Deeksha is that it breaks unconscious destructive tendencies. Oh, it's like a mini brain rewiring, like literally. It's so amazing. And so then at the end, we'll give Deeksha. So I will chat for about 30 minutes or, 25 minutes and give time for questions. And then the last 15, usually the Diksha is about, it can be anywhere from just a couple minutes, about 5 minutes. But that's kind of, I do like Teja had shared with us that the number 7, and anything divided by 7 or multiples of 7 are very, very powerful. So like if you're going to do a chant, do it 7 times or 14 times or 21 times, because of that number is a sacred number. So I think we'll do 7 minutes of Deeksha at the end. That feels really good to me right now. And then after the Deeksha, if anybody wants, has any questions or wants me to share any more about what I've learned or know about COVID-19, I'd be happy. I'd be happy to explore that a little more. All right, so let's dive in here. Okay, so special bonus for our live participants. If you stay until the end, I have a special golden orb photo. So if you haven't already received one, I will just need your address. And if you're watching this live with us, I will ship that out to you. I got that in India, and I brought that with me to Ekam every single day to be charged in that electrifying energy. And the golden orb is really the centerpiece of Ekam, and we'll talk more about that later. But it helps you develop that stronger connection to God, or what many call universal intelligence. All right, turn off all distractions. Together we create a sacred space with our attention and intention. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my phone, and if you could follow suit, that would be amazing. I'm just going to check my messages quick to make sure nobody is having a hard time getting in. Okay, looks like everybody's good. All right. All right. And this is recorded. You will receive the replay. All right, you're in the right place. If you have a physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual issue that you'd like to heal, first and foremost, that's what this is all about. It's 21 days of healing round 2. You're in the right place if you want to awaken and expand your intuition, or specifically your psychic and medium gifts. When we connect with the divine every single day in this fashion, well, and many of you know about the collective consciousness that we create when we come together like this. So the healing, the power, and the connection is so much stronger, 10 times stronger, when we come together collectively than anything we can do all by ourselves. So that's huge, right? All right. You're in the right place if you want to step out of fear into love and keep your vibration high during these trying times. This is the perfect place to do that. Absolutely. You're in the right place if you want to assist others and serve humanity, creating a better world for all. Yeah, namaste. Namaste instead of the hand greeting. I know when I was in India, it was namaste all the way. I mean, that's what you did. People were they were putting their hands together and they were bowing to each other, or the heart. And really the reason we were doing that is because of the language barrier. Namaste is just a universal language symbol everybody knows, or touching your hand to your heart and bowing toward the other person with a smile, indicating that you're grateful for what they've done, how they've helped you. All right, so which one resonates with you most? Are you here for healing? Is that your priority? Is it to increase your intuition? I'd love to hear from you in the chat. I like to get feedback when I do webinars. It's just fun. So if you have access to your chat, I'd like you to pop it open quick and tell me which one resonates with you the most. Is it first and foremost healing? Or is it intuition, number 2? Number 3, vibration? Are you all about raising your vibration right now? Or is it number 4, assisting humanity? You're just seeing a need for something outside of yourself. All right, excellent. Julie says number 4. And that was my driving force to go to India. I made that decision before any of this happened, and I had just felt that urgency that right now was important. And so and that's really If I had any question about being part of the Golden Age mission before I went to India, India completely settled anything, any doubts, any questions I had about anything. They are in perfect alignment with my mission of helping with the evolution of humanity, helping people awaken. It's crazy good, crazy good. Anybody else, if you want to unmute yourself, we've got Debbie and Joanne. I'd love to hear from you gals. I know you might have people in the background, but that's okay. All right, we'll keep going on. So I'm here for you. 150%. I am here for you every single day. Whatever your motivation is, I am here to help you evolve and expand for the highest good of all. We are constantly resetting, readjusting, restarting, refocusing as many times as you need. Because, long ago, I thought awakening was, snap me out of this ego, and then I forever am in a state of bliss and I never have to look back. Well, that really doesn't happen even with enlightenment, and Bhagwan tells us that too. He explains that we need that ego to exist in our daily life, to stay rooted in the physical body. Without the ego, we become light beings or space beings, right? And that would be great if that's what you want. But for most of us, I think that we want to, stay here on the earth. And so it's about, bouncing back and forth and self-correcting. I think about the GPS, recalculating. So one thing that the journey into happiness has really taught me is about becoming conscious of all of those thoughts, and not being attached. The thoughts in your mind are not who you are, and there's so much freedom in that, because those thoughts in your mind could be coming from a multitude of different directions. So not buying into the idea that you're the thought in your mind is a huge saving grace. All right. A little bit about me. This is my beautiful family. This is our updated family photo. We've got little Finley down here. She's the newest addition. She's a little over a year. Isn't she adorable? I was trying to make that bigger, but her little face on that photo, I love it. And there's her mama right behind her. And then my son is sitting next to her, Marcus, and then Paige is on his lap. And behind is my daughter, Janae, and her boyfriend, Mike, and then my husband and myself. So that's our happy family there. And as most of you know, I used to be a school teacher. I have a master's in education, and I opened up Heaven Sent Healing in 2007. I can't believe I'm going on 13 years. Wowza, wowza. So I've added a couple titles, mindset coach, awakened healer, and Samara Deeksha giver. So that's my newest one. I kind of collect titles. I kind of collect different ways of helping people. So the list gets kind of long. All right, let's jump in there. Who's ready to hear a little more about my trip? So I spent 7 lovely days. This is a photo I took. I mean, I pinch myself every time I look at this. It's like, oh my gosh. So this is called Ekam. It used to be known as the Oneness University, but as I mentioned, Sri Amma Bhagavan handed it over to Krishnaji and Pritaji. And so now it is called Ekam. And that's where I was for the Abundance Festival. And the last day of my 3-day Ekam Circle training, we spent there. And so, again, like I said, this experience was beyond amazing, mind-blowing, in 2 separate mind-blowing experiences. I had the 7-day Abundance Festival, and I thought that 3-day training was just going to be, a lot of training and, work and blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't. It was, again, more processes, going deeper. And then that initiation at the end was just like this explosion of the 10 days together, all combined. All right, so this is the family. You're welcome. So the first day we really kind of were welcomed. So we spent the morning at the campus, and I stayed at campus 5, thank goodness, because there were a lot of people that had stayed at other campuses. Campus 5 is the one of the higher priced campuses. And I was in a room with 12 other women, and that was totally outside my comfort zone. And I was a nervous wreck about that, right up until the day I walked in to the room. And so what I learned through that experience, because it was so interesting, as the days passed, one by one, people from other campuses were like, "Oh, I wish I was at campus 5 because, my campus, it's an hour, it was like 40-minute drive." And we had the morning meditation every day at our campus because our campus was only 5 minutes from Ekam. So in the morning, we'd do the meditation, we'd have a lunch, and then they'd bus us all over to Ekam. And so then we had people at campus 1, and in another area in campus 2 that was more dorm style and quite considerably cheaper. And again, each day, there were complaints with other people with, bed bugs was an issue. And one of the dasas had said it wasn't technically bed bugs, that they were swamp bugs that were coming in during the night. And they did not look like bed bug bites. They looked more like mosquito bites. So I tend to agree with that. But it's very disconcerting at the thought of being bitten by something while you're trying to sleep at night. You can about imagine how that went over. But yeah, they threw the mattresses out in the sun, and for the most part, it was fine. We did have a few people shifting because of different things, different experiences that they were having that they wanted to change. But it was really a testament for me to trust that even though I thought I wanted to be on campus 3 because I only would have to share the room with 2 other people versus 12 other people, for my highest good, campus 5 was the better experience. And I could not see that. The only thing I could see was 12 people in a room versus 2. And I remember Metatron being like, all right, you just take a deep breath and trust that this is unfolding the way it needs to unfold. And I really, really did reach that surrender point. And I was like, all right, I'm going, it doesn't matter where I'm staying, I'm going. So I'm going to let that go and trust. And I was 100 times happy that I didn't get one of those other campuses, that I got the campus I was on, because it was amazing. Not only were we right there for the meditations, we were right there for the food. We didn't have to be shipped or bused anywhere else. But Ekam was 5 minutes away. So you can imagine the beautiful energy that we got being 5 minutes away from Ekam. It was awesome. Plus, I was in a room with 12 other ladies that were phenomenal. They were so respectful. They were so quiet. We were fast friends and, long soulmates after that experience. And the bathrooms were 5-star, like 5+ star. So very, very happy with that. So the first day, we're just settling in, and we always did the meditation on campus 5 where I was at, had lunch, and then we all got bussed over to Ekam about 3 in the afternoon. So we had very long days. We always started at 10, sometimes at 8 o'clock if there was a Homa, or if there was an outside trip to the villages or someplace. You might have started even 2 hours earlier, but we always started at 10 a.m. and ended at 10 p.m. I mean, we were eating dinner at 9 o'clock at night. It was crazy. But, I know Metatron tells me this all the time. There's an energy about the evening that you can't access in the morning or the afternoon. And so, as much as I argue with him about that, it's true. And they know this too. That's why they had us deep, deep into processes later at night, because the intensity and harnessing the power of those sacred evening energies was really amazing. But I got to meet everybody. Krishnaji was amazing. His energy was phenomenal. Bhagwan was, literally levitating himself. And Amma was, wow, like meeting Mother Teresa. Her energy was so incredible. And then Krishna Ji, or Prita Ji, she's just a fireball. I mean, she is as petite and gorgeous, but she definitely holds her own and really speaks from her heart. So this is who's guiding us, everyone. It's such an honor. And Sri Amma and Bhagavan are avatars. So for me, what that means, I mean, if you Google it, you might get some different definitions. But for me, what that means is that they're like Jesus, where they're kind of endowed with this special energy, and they're able to access frequency, a vibration that the average person can't. And they're able to assist us in awakening and enlightenment, the evolution of our consciousness. Now, Krishnaji and Pritaji are not avatars. But as I mentioned, Krishnaji is the son of Bhagwan, Bhagwan. And so he is endowed with, the sacredness. And like I said, at age 11, the golden orb came to him and gave him this Deeksha that he's been sharing since he was 11. Crazy. Okay, so here we go. Day one, we just kind of had that welcome. We had an initiation, kind of an initial opening of that limitless field, is what Krishnaji calls it. And that's where I really can feel that experience of a near-death awakening. And during my first experience with the limitless field, like I said, it was the very first day, and my entire team, my entire spiritual team, it was like, oh my gosh, there's Metatron. Oh my gosh, there's Bhagwan, Amma. And then like everybody, as I'm looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's Swoop, there's him, there's her. Everybody around, it was just unbelievable. So like I said, it literally felt like I had been transported to heaven, and that I was like in a meeting with my team, and they're like, hello, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and just had that communion with them. And then when it was time to go back, I was like crying, going, no, I don't want to go back, I want to stay. And Metatron was like, oh no, you have work to do, girl, you are not staying. And then he just explained to me that I'll be able to access that field at any time and have this intense direct connection with my team at any time. And then I was like, all right, I can go back now. Okay, so day 2 was the transcendental brain, which, I thought they'd save that for the end, but it was exciting to get it right away. So we healed and cleared feelings of I am not wanted from birth to age 5. And I know my mentor, Carrie, who's been to Oneness a million times, this was formerly called the Oneness University, and it's also known as the Ono Academy, but they've coined it as Ekam. The word Ekam means oneness. And so he always says it's 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. And so my granddaughter came in because she's been abandoned by her mother, so those issues came in that she's experienced right now. And like I said, birth to age 5, all those feelings of not fitting in, or not feeling connected, or feeling left out, not included, all of those came in during the processes. And so just a couple of my notes here. And Preetaji is the one that had uh, like they would take turns every other day, or one would talk in the morning and the other would talk in the afternoon. Preetaji was actually in the States. They do hold classes in the US. It's called Field of Abundance, and all around the US. And she was, I believe, in Miami for a Field of Abundance 3-day program that they were hosting. So she came on the live stream. They would live stream her in with us, which was really cool. And so she was the one that initiated the transcendental brain process. And she, again, moving into that limitless field and really feeling like I had had a near-death experience and didn't want to go home. So day 3 was Transcendental Fortune. And in this day, we cleared the pain of loss from this generation and 3 generations behind and ahead of us. And that's what Krishnaji had said 3. But I really was, expanding that if it would include 7, that I was open to having 7 healed and cleared. But when I was going through the processes for this, I really was tuning into my grandmother and my great grandmother. And they are the ones on my mother's side who are psychic. That's where I get my psychic and medium abilities from. And so I had just seen lots of swirling past lives. It was almost like I was in this vortex, and these anything associated with that topic would kind of swirling in. And even every single time when we were doing processes or in any kind of a meditative state, I had my people, the spiritual healing people from the 21 days of healing that I did with India. I had all of you guys, there were about 50 of you. I had all of you guys in, and I was like, all right, everybody, we're going in. And so I would see just images of, different things. So for me, I had figured out that I was getting fragments, bits and pieces of things that other people were releasing and letting go. So kind of just a mirage of different things, which was really cool. All right. So day 4 was Transcendental Longevity. So Preeta J came first, and she spoke about addictions in the first half, because every afternoon, like I said, we were at Ekam from like 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. And so we would go in for that first part. I think a couple hours, they would have discussion where they would talk about the topic. And then we would have a break, or we'd have a break, and we could go to the cafe and grab something to eat, or go to the store. And then we would come back, and then we would do these intense spiritual processes. We do meditations, we do certain yogic positions, chanting, and we do releasing and savadana, savasana, where you're laying down flat. I mean, they worked us hard, but it was very, very exciting. So in the morning, she talked about addictions and how being unkind to our bodies can interfere with our lifespan. And then in the afternoon, we focused on clearing and healing any health issues that we were experiencing that might be interfering with our lifespan. So anybody who had any health issue down as one of their 3, all those people kind of zoomed in, and I could feel all this collective energy clearing and healing. It was just totally awesome. All right, so day 5 was Transcendental Life Purpose. So during this process, we focused on releasing hurts that are blocking our connection to our divine life purpose. So we really focused on feelings of self-worth and I am worthy. And again, as we moved into these deeper processes, a lot of times what I would experience, I experienced a brain rewiring almost every single day. And it was interesting because I didn't really associate it with the rewiring until I had a conversation with one of the guys, Reed, who'd been, he had been to the Enlightenment Festival, long time standing member of Oneness. And we were just having a conversation. And then all of a sudden, a memory from the day before popped in. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what happened to me. And then he's like, oh, that's totally a brain rewiring. And I was like, really? Because, this is happening a lot. But what happened was, I think I have it in one of my things. It was so cool how it, oh, of course, I can't find it quick. All right, I'll just explain it, which is probably better anyway, right? So I could feel like we've got this golden orb that we meditate, and it's right in the room. And so I could feel the golden orb touch the top of my head, and then I could feel it move in because we do a meditation where we're envisioning this. And so I could feel it move in, and then all of a sudden, it was almost like being hooked up to an IV, where the golden orb was coursing through my veins, and it wasn't blood. The blood was moving out, and the golden orb, the energy of the golden orb, this liquid gold was flooding into the veins, into the cells of my body. And then as it filled up my whole body, so there was no more blood in my body, then I dissolved into the golden orb and became one with the golden orb. And for me, the golden orb represents God. So for me, it was an incredible experience, probably one of the most incredible of my life, aside from childbirth and getting married, of especially in terms of spirituality, to experience that oneness with God. Yeah, it was beyond amazing. Beyond amazing. So this one was really good. All right, then we had Transcendental Soulmate, and I know this was a hot topic for my people. So with this samskara, that's what they called it, with each of these transcendental issues, they called it a samskara. So the samskara that we healed with the soulmate was the craving to love and be loved. So as we tune into the love that we are, we become a radar antenna for the love that we seek. And they also explain that if you're married, you'll be able to create a deeper, stronger bond with your mate. And if you're single, you will be able to clear your channel so your soulmate can become magnetized to you. So that was super powerful. All right, then on the last day, we received blessings from Bhagavan and Amma. And that's the chair they sat on. It looked just like that, except they had a white cushion behind them instead of that black one. And Bhagwan came out first, and he did darshan with us. So Krishnaji asked a couple of questions, and then Bhagwan talked about those questions. And basically, the one was about him retiring and turning everything over to Krishnaji, and that, we're in good hands. And Krishnaji is modernizing the Golden Age mission. And he comes at it, even though it's very spiritual and very mystic, Krishnaji comes at it in a broader sense, so that he doesn't turn off people who aren't looking for spirituality, who aren't looking to be a mystic. So Krishnaji and Pritaji are really trying to encompass the entire mass of people on the planet. And that's why you'll see like that journey into happiness. It started as journey into awakening, and they quickly moved that into journey into happiness, because And they asked us to get rid of the Sri Murphys and not talk about Bhagwan, and really kind of clean things up in terms of spirituality. It's still very spiritual, very mystical, if that's what you choose to connect in with. And it is absolutely what I choose, what's drawn me in. But the people that are spiritual and mystical aren't the ones we need to help. They've already got it. So the people we need to help are the people who are suffering, the people who are hopeless. So I really, really appreciated Bhagwan's discussion on Krishnaji's style and what Krishnaji was trying to do, because a lot of the original oneness people felt that they were not honoring Sri Amma Bhagavan and almost like forgetting them. And so when Bhagwan really took the time to explain, and you could see how heartfelt he was and how much that he cared and loved for these two, then you just had a deeper understanding. And again, when he explained too that the Deeksha, the energy that he's giving, like right there, he's flowing it through them like every single day, even though that throne was empty. All of us, I could see them a couple times. I could see them sitting on the throne. I could actually see Bhagwan sitting behind Krishnaji when Krishnaji was talking. It was so cool. I'm like, oh my God, I can see Bhagwan. And many, many others had those experiences as well. So even though they weren't there in the physical sense every single day with us, they were absolutely there in the spiritual sense. And so on that last day, he gave us a final brain rewiring, sealing in the 5 transcendental gifts: the brain change, the longevity, the fortune, the life purpose, and the soulmate. And then he explained about this new energy will affect all those we interact with. And so he explained that, simply by being in the presence of other people, they will get these blessings. They will feel the love because your vibration is higher, and your energy, you're like a lighthouse, and you're really just gifting that on the people around you. So it really was beautiful that this is something that I can share with everybody. All right, so we're gonna shift into that Ekam Mitra training. I'm so excited about this because, again, it's so in alignment with my philosophy and what I stand for. So the circles are to help people connect and feel loved and supported in all they do. And my understanding is that they're going to allow us to do online until we move through this virus that's on the planet right now. But they want us to stay connected, and they want us to help people. And so I have been initiated. That was my second training, the 3-day training at the end there. I'm able to directly connect in with the golden orb and all the sacred energies of Ekam during these Ekam circles that I'll be hosting. So it's super, super cool. So the classes, there's 8 classes. It's all free. I might ask for a donation or a love offering. But this first one, as I get my gears straightened out, this first one is free. And so the first week is about clearing obstacles. The second week focuses on health and vitality. Week 3 is love in the family. 4 is prosperity. Week 5 is stress. Week 6 is passion for work. Week 7 is intelligence. And week 8 is, of course, my favorite, releasing departed loved ones. Oh my goodness. Really? That is phenomenal. Who would have thought of that? But it's so, so necessary because, we get these spirit attachments. We get these discarnate energies that are just floating around, and they interfere. They wreak havoc, if you will, whether they're benevolent or not. They need to be in the light, and we can help them. So it's assisting these departed loved ones in going into the light. Which is super, super phenomenal. So this is the golden orb, and that is considered to be universal intelligence. And for me, it's the essence of God. It's the energy of God. And the energy that emanates from this object is absolutely unbelievable. It's phenomenal. It's literally phenomenal. I mean, my stomach would be rumbling, and I mean, at the end, the second week was tough. I was having a lot of trouble with my stomach, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to make it through 4 hours here." And I would lay on the floor because people would prostrate, I think is the correct word, but they would lay on the floor and um, just kind of you'd bathe yourself in this energy. And I would do that literally for like 3 minutes, and my stomach was fine. It was like, would stop rumbling, and any issues I had would just quiet and calm and peace. And I was like, yes, 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 yes. It was phenomenal. But yeah, so the Ekam Circles, I have a follow-up with the Dasa tomorrow night, and then I'll be setting up some dates for those. And again, I'm excited to be able to offer those online because that's really where I thrive, is online. And what I love about the Ekam Circles is they give you the program. So we'll have a short clip from Preeti. She'll talk about the topic for about 5 or 10 minutes on video. And then we do some meditations, we do some breathing exercises, and then we always close with that Deeksha at the end. So that's super awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and do that Deeksha. I think we've got 7 minutes left. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shift over. Now remember, the Deeksha helps with developing a stronger connection with the divine, healing body, mind, and soul, improving relationships, and it also helps with the addictive neural circuits that channel destructive tendencies of the unconscious. It helps break those, and new neural connections that awaken beautiful states are formed. So it is amazing. All right, we're going to go right now to the mantra, and we'll be listening to the mantra for 7 minutes while I do the Deeksha. So the Deeksha, like I said, it's like long distance Reiki. It's just tuning into this beautiful life force and feeling the love and peace flow into you. And if you want to repeat this mantra aloud, that's great. And if you just want to listen to it, that's fine too. We'll do this for 7 minutes. And then remember, at the end, I'll come back and do Q&A if anybody has any questions.
Hum, swa, so hum.
All right. Wow, my hands were on fire. Oh, so exciting. I would love to take any questions anybody has or to hear about your experience during my time during the 21 days. If you could feel that energy. Unmute yourself if you'd like to share.
I can go quick.
Yay.
I just wanted to tell you, like, after you posted the first day you were there, I actually was there with you in my dream. Yeah.
Oh my
It was the coolest thing. It was like you were like, oh, here's this, this, and this, and you're going, okay, everything is okay. And then it was so real. It was amazing. So
Wow,
I knew it was the photo and all that. Yes.
oh, right, right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping to make this an annual trip, so start saving because I'm going back. You're not gonna be able to keep me away now.
It was so cool, though. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Julie. Joanne, did you have any thoughts? We'd love to hear from you tonight. I can unmute you, I think.
Is that?
There you go.
Hear me? Oh, great. Yes. Oh, that chat just now was, oh, wow. It just put me into orbit. Is that what they played there?
Can you move your video so I can see your mouth? I'm having a hard time. There you go. What was your question?
The chant that just played, was
Yes.
that from the course that you were?
It was. We listened to that puppy every single day. Yeah, and then when we moved, because the course at Ekam that we attended was at the top. It was at the top level, which is supposed to be the most sacred. And so we had to go up these winding stairs. And we repeated that chant when we'd go up and come down. And they explained to us that as we repeated that, going up and down the stairs, it was cleansing and clearing our chakras. So when we went up, it was preparing us. And as we were going down, it was helping with the processing.
Oh, it was very powerful.
Yeah. So they used that mantra during our most intense process. I believe like when we went into the limitless field, which was always, the limitless field was like the fireworks of the night. So we do these really intense processes with this heavy breathing and the different yogic positions and chants and such. And then at the very end, Krishnaji would lead us into, then we do the Deeksha. He'd do the golden orb. We'd visualize the golden orb coming in and just filling our whole body. And they'd play this song, the mantra chant. And then Krishnaji would, they always sat, it was so cool because, instead of sitting in chairs like we sit in, they sit cross-legged. And, they're always, in the yoga style.
Yeah.
Then he would just sit there with his eyes closed and we would tune into his consciousness. We would connect in with his consciousness and to access this field of limitlessness. So it was the limitless field. And in that field, it was, again, like a near-death experience. Because if you could imagine a space where there are no limits in your creation, where there is no pain and suffering, where there's only a beautiful state and pure love and joy, and anything that you can imagine is possible, limitless. If you can imagine being in that state and creating from that state, I mean, it was, like I said, mind blowing. You've got to go.
That is wow.
I think Debbie had a comment in the chat. She must not be able to. That was hypnotic. Oh, you, Joanne. Thank you. Thank you. Any?
You mentioned a mission that would get you there as a Savite, and there would be no charge. How does that work?
Say that again.
You mentioned a mission, a U.S. mission that
Golden Age.
Savite, and how can that happen?
Well, I'm part of the Golden Age mission. So I attended the 3-day course, and I mean, they're offering that online right now. It's April 4th. I don't know if you were interested, Julie. It's still a little pricey. It's $1,500, but I mean, I had to pay for airfare last year and hotel and time gone. So, being online, it's like 50% discount, if you think in those terms.
I understood this was to go to Ekam.
The Ekam, you must be talking about the Ekam Circles.
Well, I thought you said there was a way to go to India as a Savite through a Mission US, Golden Age Mission US, where you didn't have to pay to, they would support you? I got it wrong. Okay.
Yeah, nope.
Okay.
Julie, did you hear anything that maybe she misconstrued? Yeah.
Okay, I'll go back and look at it. So there's no way that they take you there as a Savite. Okay. But the Ekam Circle, you're going to present starting when?
We have our follow-up training tomorrow night, and I just need to get the thumbs up on online.
Okay.
Because they prefer those in person. But all of the 1-day and 3-day have moved to online. So, and I mean,
I took the 3-day last year, and I wanted to take it again this April 2nd and 3rd and 4th. How is it going to be different? Do you know?
Well, it will be different, but it also will be online.
Yeah.
So my understanding is there are new, like in the 3-day that I attended, she went through 21 awakenings.
Right. Okay.
And so there'll be 21 new awakenings.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So there's 108. Apparently, there are 108.
We're going from 20.
Before you get enlightened. Right? But yes, that was my understanding. There would be, but don't quote me on that because they change things on a dime.
And not to expect the darshan, a live darshan?
No, well, my understanding is there will not be a live darshan, but they will figure something out for those people to attend in the future. And that could change too.
Nothing
He's
even
doing-
with Tejasaji. No,
right. Yeah, because somebody commented that he does live darshans live stream like that for other groups in India.
Okay.
So I don't know. But it is a big opportunity, Joanne, if you want to continue with the level 2.
Yes, definitely.
3-day online.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent. All right.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Debbie, I'm just going to check in with you real quick. Did you want to unmute yourself? Did you have any questions about anything? All right. I just wanted to make one last comment about COVID-19. Did you guys see the video I posted that Preeta G had made? You did, Julie? Yeah. And then I also, a friend had sent me audio. It's a podcast about a movement that's going to be happening like 120 days before the president is elected. And they are restructuring the entire financial institution. And that in order to restructure the entire financial institution, they will need to zero out everything and everybody. So all debt will be paid, including student loans and credit cards up to a certain point and mortgages, and that they're transitioning everybody into a gold and silver institution, getting rid of the Federal Reserves, which is speculation that hasn't been serving us. But if you're interested in that, I can certainly send that to you girls. And Prita J basically said that this is the earth cleansing herself, and that she's done this through eternity, and that it's all natural order, and to just stay in a high vibration and you'll be just fine. Yeah. Yeah. And social distancing, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any questions? Any other questions about that? Okay. All right. And Joanne, you had a question. This will happen in India or US, across the world. Each continent will create their own institution, but it won't be based on the cash system anymore. And I know Carrie's talked a lot about that too. And other people that I've been following have talked a lot about that. So that's going to be coming sooner than later. Yay! It's all good, all good. All right, everyone, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your support, girls. I really appreciate it. Mwah. Bye.